Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Vikings and the Steelers, and it's coming up next.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the AFC champion, taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. They'll start the drive with Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Pickett sets up play action. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, they certainly took a shot to open this game. I know it backfired with the interception, but no lack of bravado from that sideline at all. And look, they told us before the ball game, they wanted to be a little more dangerous on offense. They wanted to take a few more chances. That opening pass certainly set a tone. Maybe a turnover, but I don't think it'll stop them from trying again the rest of this game.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Play fake. Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Cousins gives way to Cook. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And able to get this to the 31.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 23 yards on the play. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down for the touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
On second and goal, Cousins caught on the slant. Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hockenson from 6 yards away. And the Vikings are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Striking first in any game is very important, but on this stage, the biggest of stages in the Super Bowl, that's huge.
You fully expect the other team to battle all the way through, but when you're the one setting the pace, jumping out in front, that has to feel great for the entire organization.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards that time for number 14. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Pickett looking to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Throw left side complete. That's counter. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And he is going to have the Steelers' 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. A run with Harris out of the shotgun, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the right side with Harris. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Trying with Pickett here on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Boswell has this one going left, no good. He missed it left. Well, that is not what you want to see from him on the big stage, obviously. And he's been so reliable all season long.
A big part of why they've gotten here to this game. But you have to wonder, will this haunt them later as the Super Bowl progresses?
Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Play action now. Cousins. Looking deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Steelers will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Off play action. Pickett. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Now Zuerlein on to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. To throw again on second down. Pickett, he's going to go for a big play downfield. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, yeah, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you're trying force plays, right? You're trying to get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. Play action, Cousins. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
And some room to work. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. He's going to let this one go deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett. And going deep downfield for Boykin. And he's got it inside the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Miles Boykin, 48 yards. And the Steelers are on the board here in this Super Bowl. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make our score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. He'll let it fly for Austin. Oh, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy.
He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe, because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
Trucks over him, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, no surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt, his second sack of the night. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now it's Peterson. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Now a give. Running left is Harris. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They run again with Harris. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. He'll get this down to the 38.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Pickett will look to pass it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marcus Davenport able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They go play action. Cousins. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hawkinson. And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 66 yards. They'll run with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings will extend their 3rd quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
First and 10, here's Pickett. Complete to Austin here over the middle.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up 2nd down.
We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
2nd down and 7. Here's Pickett.
He'll take a shot for the end zone.
Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers.
You got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late. But they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Getting the ball is Cook, running left. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
67 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They run again on 1st down. Cook.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Again, it's Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
Looking left side, and it's complete. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Dalvin Cook so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
Again, it's Cook. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
On 3rd and goal, they're going to run the option. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. Zuerlein connects on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like... And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Andrew Booth picks it off. Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and
he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Cousins now. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there. 30 yards. And the Vikings are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi Trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive 1st and 10. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Pickett to throw on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Throwing here, Cousins. Going up top. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot on the depth chart points before this game is over.
And they take a knee. take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes.